From Cleveland, welcome to Arizona Diamondbacks baseball, presented by Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Rolling into Cleveland to the lake, it's the D-backs and the Guardians on Valley Sports Arizona. Good morning from Progressive Field and welcome to the broadcast. Steve and Bob here with you. It's our final game in this series against the Cleveland Guardians, and it's one of those days you look forward to over the course of a baseball season that makes this game so intriguing. The major league debut of a promising young pitcher, and Bob, today that's rookie lefty Tommy Henry.
Yeah, we've all been waiting for Tommy Henry's debut a long time. It kind of harkens back to Andrew Chafin when he started the first game of a doubleheader here at Progressive Field. Tommy Henry, lots of friends and family in the crowd today. Hopefully he'll keep his nerves under control.
Second round pick by the D-backs out of the University of Michigan in the 2019 draft, and he's about to make his major league debut.
It's pretty cool. I think it's what every baseball player comes here to do, starts the game to do, and it's nice to see some familiar faces. Guys that I've played with and guys that I know before this, so that makes the transition a little bit easier.
Well, he's got a tall order here, Bob. He's facing a good Guardians team that does not strike out a lot. They put the ball in play, and he's matched up against a former Cy Young winner.
Yeah, a unanimous Cy Young winner back in that 2020 season when he won the pitching triple crown. Wins, ERA, and strikeouts led the American League that season.
Shane Bieber and Tommy Henry, your pitching matchup. Nissan presents the Brimley Breakdown.
Well, we're going to keep it simple for Tommy Henry today. 60 feet, 6 inches. It's the same distance that he pitched at Michigan. It's the same distance he pitched in Salt River. It's the same distance in Reno. It's kind of like Gene Hackman in Hoosiers. Measure the hoop. It's still 60 feet 6 inches. Just do your thing.
But then you get inside and you go, wow, it's big.
It's big.
Tommy Henry, we're excited to watch this one. Star power? Well, it's you'd want power. Christian Walker has provided that in this series. A pair of early 3-run home runs. He's homered twice, and he's in the lineup again today. Back from Cleveland after this, you're watching D-backs baseball on Valley Sports Arizona.
Arizona is brought to you by Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Own your moment so you do you. By Chaz Roberts Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Choose Chaz. And by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop NissanUSA.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, the baseball community is mourning one of the greats with the passing today of Vin Scully. The legendary Hall of Fame broadcaster was the longest tenured announcer with a single team in pro sports history, calling Dodgers games for 67 years. Please join us in a moment of silence as we remember one of the greatest voices of baseball, Vin Scully.
We have lost a legend, and remembering Vin Scully here in Cleveland, Ohio today. We get set for first pitch. The left-hander, Tommy Henry, will make his major league debut. His family, his friends are all here, 70 strong. I'll be talking to them during the game broadcast. Stay with us as Steve and Bob have the call here from Cleveland, Ohio, as the D-backs look to win the series.
Welcome to the broadcast. Steve with you. Bob Bradley, Jody Jackson along the way. Diamondbacks a chance to close this trip with a series win in Cleveland. We haven't won a series here since Bob Brenly's Battling Snakes took a series back in 2002.
That's been way too long. Let's go.
Let's get a look at Valley Chevy Dealers batting order for the Diamondbacks as you get a gander in there at Tommy Henry, set to make his big league debut. Here's the lineup today.
A couple of notable changes today. Josh Rojas leads it off, but he's playing second base. Alec Thomas will be out in center field. Ketel Marte is the designated hitter. The red-hot Christian Walker at first base. Dalton Varsho out in right field. Emmanuel Rivera making his Diamondbacks debut here today. He'll be at third base. Jake McCarthy out in left field. Geraldo Perdomo at short, with Jose Herrera doing the catching for the left-handed youngster Tommy Henry.
Rivera acquired from Kansas City in the trade for Luke Weaver the other day. That lineup is up against right-hander Shane Bieber. Twice an American League All-Star. He was the league's Cy Young winner 2 seasons ago, and today looks for his 3rd win in 4 starts.
This guy's got really good stuff. Throws a lot of sliders, a 4-seam fastball, a curveball, a cutter, an occasional changeup. He's a command guy. He's usually in and around the strike zone from the start of the ball game.
Well, let's get a look around the diamond at the defenders behind him for the Guardians. That's presented by E.D. Marshall Jr.
Stephen Kwan in left, Miles Straw out in center, Oscar Gonzalez with another start in right field. Tyler Freeman will be at 3rd base. Ahmed Rosario and Andres Jimenez make up the double play combo. Owen Miller over at 1st base. Austin Hedges, who caught game 1 of this series, back behind the dish today for right-hander Shane Bieber.
This one's going to be a lot of fun. Terry Francona in the opposite dugout. His ball club playing well despite the loss last night. They are 3 over 500 and only 1 game behind the Twins for the American League Central Division lead. Chad Fairchild, our plate umpire, calling balls and strikes, and second baseman Josh Rojas will lead it off.
Well, Josh was out early pregame, taking ground balls at second base, turning double plays, playing out in shallow right field when they play that shift, making throws from there.
Jumped on a first pitch fastball. Rojas just under 270 on the year with 6 home runs. Former Cy Young winner Shane Bieber.
He's making his 100th career start here this afternoon. And he's been good lately. He's completed 6 or more innings in 11 of his last 13 starts.
Velocity has still been down for most of this year for Bieber, coming off left shoulder trouble or right shoulder trouble last year. And so they're seeing a recent uptick in the velo, but it's not quite up to where it was 2 years ago. And Rojas golfs one out there deep to right field. Gonzalez drifting onto the warning track, and he's got it for the first out.
That looked like a Luis Gonzalez scoop swing. That's what Gonzo used to call it, scooping. Throw something down and out over the plate, get out there and hook that ball back to right field.
Center fielder Alec Thomas, 253 for Alec, 7 home runs. He went without a hit in Atlanta, but has had a terrific stop here in Cleveland. That one missed away. Alec with 4 hits in this series, including a 2-run double in the 5th inning last night in the Diamondbacks win. They beat the Guardians 6-3. Bieber attacks mostly with a fastball and a slider. Those 2 pitches represent most of what he throws. There's a cutter in there as well. He's got a curveball. He'll throw the occasional changeup to lefties. But it's going to be a lot of fastball slider.
6 of his first 7 starts this year, he did not throw a cutter. He incorporates it. Some teams he throws a few more cutters than other teams.
The cutter and slider for some guys blend into each other. Zach Gallen has that from time to time. Bieber picked up a pair of wins last month. A complete game 3-hit victory over the White Sox here at Progressive Field. And then 7 innings of 1-run ball in a win at Tampa Bay last Friday. That was his last start. Did not go, says Shane Libensberger. And Thomas has run a count full 3-2. Padre Austin Hedges back there today, and Bieber gets his first strikeout. Goes to that curveball.
Bieber's been averaging about a strikeout per inning. He's only walked 28 batters in 118 2/3. Finishes off Alec Thomas with a hanging curveball up in the zone that time.
DH today is Ketel Marte at 260 with 10 home runs. Ketel has been kept in check offensively throughout this road trip. There's a strike, and it's 0-1. Marte 2 for 19 over the first 5 games of this trip through Atlanta and now Cleveland. And he's not been quite as patient at the plate lately as he has been for much of the last month or so. That's chopped foul. It's 1-2.
Not as patient and not as under control when he does decide to swing. We've talked about it recently. He's taking some big cuts, especially from the right side of the plate.
And you can chart this, but whenever Ketel starts walking a lot, the extra base hits always follow.
Yep.
And when he's not walking, things can dry up. 1-2. It's been just over 30 games now since Marte returned from the hamstring issue that had limited him to DH duty for a month. Since he got back in the lineup on June 21st, he's been about a .240 hitter. Able to check on that curveball. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Christian Walker with a pair of 3-run home runs in this series would be next. Punches that one toward the left field corner. Kwan gives it a look, but it's in the seats and out of play.
You know what wind there is here at Progressive Field today appears to be blowing out to right center. Not hard. The flags are barely moving, but kind of leaning out toward that right center field wall.
It is a lovely afternoon here in downtown Cleveland. Bright blue sky overhead. It's supposed to be hot, but not too bad right now. A 1:10 local start. 2-2.
Good battle here. Give him a chance to make a mistake.
Mention the velocity. That's been an ongoing concern in Cleveland with Bieber. His fastball is still a full 3 miles an hour slower than it was 2 years ago when he was the Cy Young winner. And as a result, he's been going to that slider more and more often. And some of the other pitches as well. 8th pitch of the at-bat right here. And he gets Marte. There is that Bieber slider. He strikes out 2 on a 1-2-3 first. All set for the major league debut of D-backs lefty Tommy Henry. It's a big day on your Diamondback calendar. And there's the cheering section for left-hander Tommy Henry out of Portage, Michigan. A Michigan Wolverine making his major league debut here in Buckeye country a few days after his 25th birthday.
Yeah, I would advise the one member of the Henry family up there to get rid of that Michigan t-shirt and get a Diamondback shirt.
It's easy to spot in the crowd.
It sure is.
That's for sure. Stephen Kwan will lead it off. A left fielder for the Guardians. It's a tough lineup for Tommy Henry to face. These guys do not strike out. They put the ball in play. They extended bats. Kwan near the top of that list. A very good leadoff hitter. And another major league rookie. He's been on base throughout this series. This is lifted out to left center field. Alec Thomas and Jake McCarthy. It's McCarthy there. And there's one away. Valley Chevy Dealers has the Cleveland lineup today.
Stephen Kwan, the left fielder, just flied out to left field. Ahmed Rosario, the shortstop, making his way to the plate. He'll be followed by Jose Ramirez, the designated hitter. Owen Miller at first base. Oscar Gonzalez out in right field. Andres Jimenez at second base. Tyler Freeman at third base. Austin Hedges does the catching with Miles Straw out in center field, all behind Shane Bieber.
Oh, a nice quick 2-pitch first out in the major leagues for Tommy Henry. Here's Ahmed Rosario. This lineup does not get any easier for the young lefty. Rosario begins the game tied with the White Sox Jose Abreu for the American League lead in hits. He's at .291 on the year. And he's got Jose Ramirez waiting on deck behind him. So go get him, kid.
Go get him, kid. 60 feet 6 inches. That's the same distance you pitched at in Reno, Salt River Field, University of Michigan, in high school. It's all the same. Kind of.
Right, and yet it's not. But your point is well taken there, Norman Dale.
Yeah, thanks.
Out there with your tape measure and your step ladder.
10 feet. Just like home.
Well, didn't rattle Jimmy Chitwood. We'll see how Tommy Henry holds up here. 3-0 on Rosario with Ramirez on deck. Heard Brent Strom on the pregame show talk about how they've kind of shortened up Tommy Henry's arm action. It's not a blazing fastball, but it does have some jump to it, some late life. There's a one hopper to Rivera, the new third baseman. 2 down for Tommy Henry. There's the Henry group, about 70 here in the ballpark as we get a look around the diamond at the D-back defense, brought to us by E.D. Marshall.
These are the guys that are going to be jumping through flaming hoops for Tommy Henry today to make his debut special. Jake McCarthy in left, Alec Thomas in center, Dalton Varsho over in right field. We just saw Emmanuel Rivera at third base handle his first chance. Perdomo and Rojas make up the double play combo with Christian Walker at first. Jose Herrera doing the catching for lefty Tommy Henry.
There's Emmanuel Rivera, his Diamondback debut, just acquired from Kansas City in the trade for Luke Weaver. Jose Ramirez tops on the Guardians and home runs, RBIs, OPS. With just one hit in the series to this point. An RBI single in his first at bat last night. He was thrown out attempting to stretch that play into a double. A terrific play by Dalton Varsho in right field. Tommy Henry has a pretty smooth pitching motion. It's a fairly athletic but easy delivery. There's nothing too strenuous involved there. The fastball has generally been low to mid 90s. He locates that fastball to both sides of the plate. He'll work up sometimes with it. He's got a nice fading changeup with a slider as an out pitch. He's got some sweep to it. Every now and again he'll steal a strike with a curveball. 3-0. Key for Tommy Henry, and even he knows this. He said, get ahead, control the game, control the pace. And you do that by commanding the strike zone, which he's had occasional issues with coming up in the minor leagues. Now he's pitched in two terrible environments for pitchers in Amarillo and Reno, so you have to, in a sense, almost throw out the minor league numbers. I mean, those are the least friendly pitching environments you could imagine. But he's done well in both spots.
Putting up the numbers he did under those conditions is very impressive.
3-2. Bounced one up there. Try that slider. No chance for Ramirez, and it's a 2-out walk. He has got to limit the base runners today. That has been the one thing that you look at and go, over the course of the minor league campaign. He has averaged, Tommy Henry, roughly 4 walks for every 9 innings pitched over 3 minor league seasons. Owen Miller, the first baseman, bats cleanup.
And you can get away with walking some guys over the course of a ball game if you walk the right guys at the right time. You know, we've seen many major league pitchers pitch around a guy that's given him trouble in the past to go after the on deck hitter.
Just want to throw consistent strikes. That's a good start right there. 91. That fastball. It's not a big time fastball, but it's got some jump to it.
Hitters call it sneaky quick. The radar gun wouldn't say he's throwing hard, but you watch the hitter's reaction at the plate, and they're usually not on that fastball.
Ramirez on the move. Miller fouls that one away. Jose Ramirez will run 14 stolen bases on the year. And it's 0-2 in the cleanup man for the Guardians.
For that Jose Ramirez, we've talked about it throughout this series. He's one of the more underrated players in all of baseball. He can do everything. He plays great defense. He's a good base runner. He's fast, switch hitter, got pop from both sides.
Slugs, takes his walks.
Yeah, but nobody knows who he is outside of Cleveland.
No balls and 2 strikes on Owen Miller. This is threatening to drop in front of Varsho, and it does. Ramirez on the move. He'll head for third. It's a base hit for Miller. And they're on the corners with 2 outs.
Once again, not solid contact. An elevated fastball that got in on the hands of Owen Miller that time. He just kind of muscles it out there in the shallow right field toward the foul line. By the time Varsho gets there, Ramirez is on third.
Well, now you've got a matchup of 2 rookies. Tommy Henry in his first big league start up against Oscar Gonzalez, who is off to a very good start to his big league career. .283 with a couple of home runs. Activated from the injured list yesterday, missed a month with an intercostal strain. He singled and struck out twice in his first game back last night. Ramirez is at third. Miller's at first with 2 outs.
Gonzalez had 1 hit in the ball game last night, but he also struck out 2 times.
Came up and made his major league debut May 26th and set a franchise record. He had 25 hits in his first 15 games. And has cooled off since. This is hit deep to right center. Varsho tracking it, and he's got it in front of that warning track. They're on their feet for Tommy Henry here in Buckeye country. Score 1 for the Maize and Blue.
Watch out.
Put a 0 on the board in your first big league inning. This is the reaction you get first in the dugout, and then from your small army of supporters in the stands.
Not quite as much enthusiasm in the dugout, but his family is sure enjoying it.
And he's got about 70 friends and family here, all wearing Diamondbacks gear. There's a Michigan shirt or 2 in there. Just duck down low.
Yeah.
Christian Walker leads off the second against Shane Bieber.
You might want to turn it inside out when you come to Cleveland.
This must be tough to for you to hold back your Buckeye neutrality. You've done a wonderful job so far. Walker 203 now with 25 home runs in the series. He has doubled and homered twice. That one's not going to get out of here. Bieber has it, and they retire Walker to open up the second. St. Louis Cardinals come to town later this month. The weekend series August 19th, 20th, and 21st. And don't miss one of the best nights of the year. It's Mexican Heritage Night, Saturday, August 20th. All fans can enjoy a post-game concert. Get tickets for the weekend at dbacks.com. That is one of the truly fun nights in the ballpark. Great atmosphere. Well, Bieber has retired the first 4, and here is the right fielder Dalton Varsho. Varsho 5 hits in 5 games on this trip. He has tripled and homered. That curveball misses up. It's 2-0. Really mixing things up, Shane Bieber. The drop in fastball velocity, as we talked about earlier, has caused him to sort of use everything he's got. So it's a much more balanced repertoire. There's the slider, cutter, curveball.
In past game logs, he's thrown more curveballs to left-handed hitters, more sliders and cutters to the right-handed hitters, but we've seen him use that curveball against everybody today.
Got the call. Threw that curveball into Varsho. Third strikeout for Bieber. 2 down in the second.
I can feel a D-backs home run coming today. When the D-backs hit big, you win big. Get a free jumbo jack with a large drink purchase the day after the D-backs hit a home run.
Well, we've been hitting them early on this road trip. Varsho hit one in the second Monday night. Walker in the first last night. Here is the D-back debut for Emmanuel Rivera, the third baseman today. Acquired from the Royals Monday in a trade for pitcher Luke Weaver. 26-year-old right-hand hitter. Just turned 26, in fact, about a month ago. We saw Rivera at Chase Field in May. He started a game against the Diamondbacks at third base. Mike Hazen said the front office was looking to add a right-hand hitting infield bat, and Rivera fit the bill. He had started just over 50 games at third base in Kansas City this year. And hits it on the ground to shortstop for Amed Rosario. 6 up, 6 down for Shane Bieber. We are scoreless in Cleveland. Diamondbacks and Guardians, no score. Here is our Verizon player profile. It's Tommy Henry making his major league debut today. The Diamondbacks left-hander. In his final season at Michigan, won a dozen games, set a school single-season strikeout record, and opened the Wolverines' College World Series run by holding then #1 ranked UCLA to 2 runs in 7 innings. After they had clinched the Super Regional, he had just been hospitalized before the game with an IV in his arm, being treated for the flu and pneumonia, and went out there and skunked UCLA.
Oh, good on you, Tommy.
He's got some onions. Andres Jimenez, the second baseman. Henry followed that with a complete game 3-hit shutout against Florida State with 10 strikeouts, put the Wolverines into the finals. Seminoles coach Mike Martin called it a masterpiece. 100 pitches, 71 strikes in that big game for Tommy Henry. He started game 1 of the championship series, went 8 1/3 in a win over Vanderbilt. He has a tremendous college resume.
The University of Michigan has a surprisingly good baseball program. You know, a lot of teams in the Midwest, you don't get outdoors until your first game of the season. Guys are usually very solid fundamentally coming out of the Midwest, because that's all you can do is work out in the gym, take ground balls on the basketball court, throw off a plastic mound somewhere, hitting the cages. And 2 different times in my college career, our first outdoor practice was our first game of the year. Couldn't get on the field.
Remember Patrick Corbin always telling the story of his high school baseball tryout where he pitched off a wooden mound in blue jeans inside the gym. 1-2 on Jimenez, an all-star second baseman this year.
Watch out.
Tommy Henry, a little sluggish in that first inning. 6 of his first 10 pitches were balls, but he closed that first inning by throwing 7 of his final 8 pitches for strikes. He's got Jose Herrera back there today. 2-2. That got Jimenez. And the way he's been going, they cannot afford to lose him.
On the back of that right hand, knocked the protective pad right off his right hand.
Terry Francona out there to have a look, and Jimenez will take his base. He is having an outstanding season. He's had a big series. 4 hits, 3 stolen bases Monday. Last night singled, walked twice. Well, here's one youngster making his major league debut against another. Here's the first major league at bat for Tyler Freeman, called up before the game today. In the big leagues for the first time. His numbers at AAA Columbus this year, as he steps in for his first major league at bat. Freeman was a second-round pick by Cleveland out of high school in Rancho Cucamonga, California. In the 2017 draft, his hitting has drawn a lot of attention across the minor leagues. A line drive hitter. Consistent contact to all fields and does not strike out very much. That one skips away from Herrera. Jimenez moves up.
I would would assume that Herrera has worked with Tommy Henry either in spring training or down in Reno in one of his trips back and forth. That one scooted underneath the glove all the way to the backstop that time.
And now he's behind on Freeman. 2 balls and no strikes. Freeman has his own supporting cast here, just like Tommy Henry, as you might imagine. This season was Freeman's first above Double-A ball. He was limited to only about 40 games at Double-A Akron last year. The season ended midway through when he had surgery for a torn labrum in his left shoulder. And now with Henry behind 3-0, it's conference time.
Yep.
On social media, Valley Sports AZ. What's the best baseball movie? We're of course in Cleveland, which is supposed to be the site of the Major League movie, which is actually filmed at County Stadium in Milwaukee.
Right.
You can pick Bull Durham, League of Their Own, something else. What's the best baseball movie? Cast your vote at Valley Sports AZ on Twitter. 3-0 to Freeman. Got it right on the corner.
Yeah, Freeman's a versatile guy. He's defensively had 33 starts at second base, 35 starts at shortstop, and only 3 at third base, where he's playing here today for the Guardians.
Tommy Henry just behind 3-0. Throw a couple of fastballs in the zone. Get back in the count. Now it's full. Austin Hedges on deck, the catcher. 3-2 on Tyler Freeman. Rookie versus rookie. And that's the second walk issued by Henry, who has walked 2 and hit a batter. It always takes a special kind of patience to draw base on balls in your first big league.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know that Freeman wanted to swing the bat and get a base hit. One of his friends and family here watching his debut, but showed some good patience there.
Veteran catcher Austin Hedges, 173 and 6 home runs. He's got 2 on and no outs. Tommy Henry has put himself in a bit of a jam here. Hedges had a walk and a sacrifice in his start behind the plate Monday. He was 0 for 3 in the opener. He had the night off last night. Goes bunt, pulls back. Herrera will check the runner back there. Jimenez drifted a little too far off the bag down at second.
Now we know from past starts behind the plate for Jose Herrera, he is not afraid to throw to the bases, especially third base.
Henry at 30 pitches, 15 strikes, 15 balls. Also got to keep in mind that Tommy Henry has really only had less than 2 full seasons of minor league development. And a handful of starts in low A ball the year he was drafted out of Michigan, then COVID wiped out his 2020 season. 23 starts at Amarillo last year. Now he's up in the big leagues this year.
Yeah, you think about the matchup today. Shane Bieber was the American League Cy Young winner in 2020. And
right. Here's a guy that didn't get to pitch.
Didn't even get to pitch.
He's come up through the Diamondbacks system, pitching environments where there's 0 gravity. It can send pitchers looking for counseling and therapy, but he's made it through, and now here he is. Ahead in the count, 1-2. Just fired on the changeup, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jimenez the runner at second, Freeman at first. You're wondering about pitch count. Tommy Henry last pitched on his birthday, July 29th. He walked 4 in 6 2/3 against Salt Lake. He got up to 104 pitches in that start, so he's right on schedule today. And Hedges finds one into center. And they will stop Jimenez. They're loaded with no outs for the Guardians.
Might be time for a meeting just to settle the young man down. Hedges, after falling behind in the count, just gooses one back up the middle of the field. Clean line drive out to Alec Thomas in center. You can see the runner at second base. Jimenez had to hold up briefly. Thought that ball might carry all the way out to center field. So the Guardians have them loaded with nobody out.
Strom out to the mound. We'll remind you, Bally Bet, the Phoenix Mercury, and Bally Sports Arizona have teamed up to give you a chance to win courtside tickets or seats in the Bally Bet Suite at one of their final games this year. For a chance to win, enter at this website on your screen, and you could be on your way to cheer on the Mercury like a VIP. Tommy Henry is in a jam. Bases full of Guardians, nobody out, and the number 9 man steps up. It's Miles Straw. Straw over the first 2 games of the series is 0 for 8. A .216 hitter on the year. Right field, Varsho drifting toward the line. Backpedaling, catches that one. Jimenez comes in. Freeman moves into third, and it's 1-0 Cleveland. The top of the lineup comes up again. It's the pesky Stephen Kwan, who flied out to lead off the ball game for the Guardians. Kwan has had a big time series. He comes into this game today riding a 16-game hitting streak. The run is home, first and third, 1 out. Kwan during his 16-game streak is batting .361. Kwan is another rookie. Had 38 hits in the month of July, the most in the American League. Not a bad start.
Looking for that ground ball right now.
And there it is. Rojas, Perdomo, and they rolled it. Tommy Henry limits the damage. Guardians get 1. It's off to the third in Cleveland.
Progressive Field, Jody Jackson here with the Henry fan club, the family, the friends. It's a little loud here, but I'm here with Dad, Tom Henry. Mom, Mary Beth, is here as well. A lot of family, and that was a big double play there. Cleveland got a run, but nice job by Tommy Henry getting out of that jam. So first of all, tell me how you mobilized everyone here to get here. I guess it's fortunate that this family from Michigan, his debut is here in Cleveland.
It is fortunate. We're lucky that we're close by, but I paid them all to get here. That's for sure. But no, I'm from a family of 10. Mary Beth is from a family of 10. So our network is large. And, you know, all the friends from Michigan that have supported him along the way, they wanted to be a part of this. They wanted to just, you know, see something where a kid has made a dream come true today. And so we're just lucky that it happened in Cleveland because people could be here with just an easy day's drive.
Yeah, 1 out there, and when you look at it, how are your emotions right now? Tell me that.
A lot better after the first inning, and then the second inning, you know, it started off bad, but it ended strong. It was real important for both of us, Mary Beth and I, to get through that first inning. I think that was it. But we've got a lot of confidence in him. We've sat through a lot of games where, you know, a lot on the line for him. And he's always come through. He just always has seemed to be able to handle situations like this. And I see him now settling in. I don't think in the first 2 innings his legs were really underneath him, probably, nerves. And so I'd like to see from the 3rd inning on him really settle in and show what he can do.
I heard you gave him some advice on how to pitch Jose Ramirez. Is that correct?
Slider, slider, slider to the back foot. He threw him a couple. He said, Dad, I'm not doing that. But, I don't know pitching strategy, certainly like he does. It was just, a fun joke that I had with him and just something that I know he might have thought about for a moment or two when he threw that slider. Right, exactly.
All right, so I really appreciate your time. This is a great group here, and I know you're all having a good time wearing the D-backs gear and bringing the state of Michigan here into Cleveland, Ohio today.
Thanks, Jody. Thanks. And thanks to the D-back organization for the opportunity they've given my son. I really appreciate that.
It's been great to watch him rise rather quickly through the ranks. So thanks again for the time. Guys, we'll send it back up to you.
All right, Jody, enjoy the Henrys. There's plenty to go around, it looks like, down there. My goodness, what a collection. 2 quick outs on the ground for Shane Bieber. Boy, every time we have a youngster making his Diamondback debut, and we've seen more and more over the course of the years, and we'll have a lot more coming, and see the support system that produces these young men, and they think, boy, that's how they've made it. That's in large part.
Takes a village.
Sure does. Well, Bieber gets his 4th strikeout in a 1-2-3 third. Tommy Henry back to work here in Cleveland. Henry, our nationwide vision eye on the game. 2 innings so far, small sample size. Your thoughts?
I like his stuff. His command has been a little off, and we said that's been a problem occasionally for him in the past. It seems to rear its ugly head on the breaking ball. Made some mistakes up in the zone. That little blooper into right field. And then a long fly ball out to right center. His stuff looks good. Like his dad said, and his dad should know. Get the first couple innings out of the way. Take a deep breath. One thing I do like is he doesn't waste any time. He stays right around the rubber, takes a deep breath before every pitch, and he's ready to go.
And Stephen Kwan is not an easy guy to double up. Got that 4-6-3 to end the 2nd and get out of trouble. He has walked 2 and hit a batter. Had a bases loaded jam, escaped with only the 1 run. And now he'll face the sharp end of the stick in the Cleveland 3rd. Rosario, Ramirez, and Miller 2, 3, and 4. Ahmed Rosario tied for the American League in hits coming into today. 0 for 1 so far. I like the way his dad Tom put it. It looks like so far his legs aren't quite underneath him. His knees are knocking just a bit, perhaps. It's hard to blame him. Tommy Henry's a big, lanky guy, 6'3", 205 pounds. Just turned 25 years old last week.
He stays right around the rubber, kicks the dirt off. He's ready to go again. After he gets his sign from Jose Herrera, he'll take a deep breath and ready to go.
I will very selfishly applaud him for the number 47 from the left-hand side. There's a nice Bruce Hurst vibe going there for me. I'll take it.
Bruce Hurst was good for a long time.
Would have been a World Series MVP if it weren't for, well, never mind. Tommy Henry has had some impressive performances for Reno this year. We talked about that tough environment, but he's not here without merit, certainly. 6 innings of 1-hit baseball at Reno May 31st. Had a career high 11 strikeouts in a start against Tacoma. Followed that with a pair of scoreless outings against Sacramento in June. And then a 10 strikeout game at Reno on July the 10th. Swing and a miss, and Tommy Henry has his first major league strikeout. And he gets the American League hits leader. Ahmed Rosario goes down swinging.
He'll never forget that one. Comes on a loopy breaking ball up at the top of the zone right there. That's probably not the location you want to throw that pitch, but he got a good result that time. A swing and a miss from Rosario.
Well, his dad has told him, you pitch to Jose Ramirez, slider, slider, slider. Let's see if he listens. Ramirez walked his first time up.
There's one.
Sure enough, there's the first pitch slider. Way to go, Dad. He's starting to get some swing and miss now. A little too far out there for Chad Fairchild. Ball and a strike. 3 swings and misses and a foul ball in that at bat by Rosario. That's a very good sign. Just like that. He's listening. Slider, slider. If he strikes him out on a slider, Dad will just lose it. Right? There'll be no stopping
again.
Again, you're right. So let's see what comes up here. 1 and 2.
Tried to paint that outside corner. Good pitcher's pitch right there.
Emergency hack from Ramirez. Stays alive at 1 and 2. Owen Miller, who has a single in his first at bat, is on deck. And that little bloop into right field back in the first. 1-2. Popped him up. Rojas fighting the sun. Varsho coming in. Dalton has got it. And there's 2 outs in the third.
You know, I was fortunate to make my major league debut at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati. I had a whole bunch of family and friends that made the drive down to Riverfront Stadium.
Your head must have been spinning.
Oh my goodness, it was crazy. And you know, one thing you have to deal with, and it's not a bad thing, but I had family for breakfast. I had other family for lunch. Then I met with my college buddies after the game.
Got a scheduled appointment.
Yeah, it does take up a lot of your time to entertain your friends and family before and after the ball game.
Well, I guess other than Detroit or maybe Wrigley Field, this is about as close as you can get. So it's not quite the same as starting in your home state, but certainly close enough to get half of Portage, Michigan here. 0-1. There's a roller to third. Rivera scoops it up.
Nice.
And Tommy Henry works a 1-2-3 third. They're on their feet in Cleveland. The Henry contingent trailing 1-0. Progressive Field here in Cleveland. Diamondbacks trail the Guardians 1-0. This Saturday night coming up this weekend. Get to Chase Field early. D-backs and Rockies game. Get the exclusive and pretty awesome Zach Gallen t-shirt courtesy of Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort. First pitch 5:10. We'll see you down there. Get your tickets for the night at dbacks.com. Get your t-shirts.
Good workmanlike effort from Zach Gallen in the ball game last night. Pitched into the 6th inning, gave up only 6 base hits.
Under 3 pitches in 5 2/3. Picked up his 6th win this year. Well, lost in all the Tommy Henry hubbubaloo is the fact. Is that a word? It is now.
It is now.
Shane Bieber has thrown 3 perfect innings so far, and Rojas leads off the 4th. Rojas getting his first start this year at second base. He started 65 games at third, but has not had any looks at second yet this year, which, oh, by the way, is his natural position. And with more of Emmanuel Rivera in the lineup, he's making his Diamondback debut today at third base. You wonder if we might see a little bit more of this alignment around the Diamondback infield. Marte at DH, Rojas at second, Rivera's at third, all against a right-hander. One of the things they liked about Rivera was he hits lefties. Oh-2. Rojas chops one the other way. And that's 10 up, 10 down for Shane Bieber.
Hey fans, anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free seasoned beef crunchy tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
Alec Thomas struck out his first time. Diamondbacks have seen a fair amount of this on this road trip. Go back to the weekend in Atlanta. Ian Anderson came out and had a perfect game through 4 2/3, broken up by a 2-out Jake McCarthy double in the 5th inning. And then the very next day, Max Fried came out and set down the first 11 batters he faced.
Yeah.
So this has become a recurrent theme on this trip against some very good pitchers. And we're up against a former Cy Young winner here today. Alec Thomas lines one at Gonzalez, got a late break, and it's over his head. Alex on the move. It's off the wall in right center. It's a stand-up double. Alec Thomas having a very good series. That's his 5th hit.
Ball smoked to right field. Oscar Gonzalez, we haven't seen a lot of him, but he misplayed a ball in right center field last night and looked like he kind of froze in his tracks, and this one just shot over his head all the way to the wall. Go get it, Alec.
Alec had a 2-run double in last night's D-backs win. Here's a 1-out double in the 4th ahead of Ketel Marte. Marte struck out to win the 1st.
Yeah, we talked about in reference to Christian Walker in the post-game show last night. He's just not missing mistakes now. He occasionally swings at a ball out of the strike zone, but when he gets a pitch he can handle, he rarely misses that pitch. Against a guy like Shane Bieber, everybody has to have that approach. He's not going to make a lot of mistakes, but if he does, you better be ready to hit it.
Oh, Marte just missed one there, a flat cutter that was middle. Fouled it back for a strike. Shane Bieber, 27-year-old right-hander. Thomas at second with 1 out. When the fastball for Bieber is working and the velocity was ticking up in the right direction last week, it sets up that curveball for a lot of swing and miss, as well as that slider. Terry Francona was saying that when Bieber gets in that rhythm, he starts commanding, then he starts to spin that breaking ball. He can really be good. Here's Tito. His club only a game out of the AL Central lead, 1 game behind the Twins. 3-1. That's that curveball he was just talking about.
It's usually another thing that separates the really good pitchers from the rest of the pitchers, the ability to throw something other than a fastball. Roll a curveball up there when you're behind in the count, steal a strike, mix in a changeup on a 2-0 count.
Marte strikes out for the 2nd time, and there's the Bieber slider. He has punched out 5.
It's a downer slider. Doesn't have a lot of horizontal movement, just goes straight down toward the ground.
He's punched out Marte twice now. 2 outs for Christian Walker. Christian in the series, a double and 2 home runs. He's knocked in 6. And after that first pitch slider. Last night Christian hit his 2nd 3-run home run in this series. It was the 3rd time this year that Christian has homered in consecutive games. He'll leave Christian a fair amount of space out there in right center field. Everyone playing pretty much straight away.
Second baseman Jimenez playing a little bit up the middle there just to try to keep Alec Thomas close to the bag at second and give his outfielders a chance to perhaps throw him out at home plate on a base hit to the outfield.
Alec Thomas at second. 2 outs in the fourth. Leon at second, and they throw it into center field. Alec will get third. That's an E1. Bad throw by Bieber right there. Threw a wild pitch to second base.
Design pickoff play, and he just airmails it. I mean, Jimenez had to jump for that ball a little bit. Still looked like he could have made a play on it, but the throw was not where it was meant to be.
Ball and a strike on Walker.
I mentioned this many times before. When you throw game 3 of the series, you have a little bit of an advantage over the pitchers that start game 1 and game 2 because you get a chance to watch the opposing hitters for 2 days. Christian Walker seeing nothing but sliders away, sliders away, sliders away.
Yeah, they've seen him do a fair amount of damage here so far.
Yep.
Another one. 2-2.
Got a fastball up and out over the plate on the outside corner. Just couldn't quite get it.
Popped up shallow left center. Guardians have this thing surrounded. Kwan calls everyone off and collects that. They strand Thomas at third. It's still 1-0 Guardians. Gorgeous day here in downtown Cleveland. Diamondbacks trail the Guardians 1-0. Don't forget, D-backs lead the league in love. Valid for any game this season. You can get 2 lower level baseline reserve tickets plus $50 in D-Bucks concession credit. All for only $100 with our D-backs date night pack. For more info on how to take advantage of the offer, check it out at dbacks.com/date. How you doing? Oscar Gonzalez leads off the Cleveland fourth against rookie Tommy Henry in his major league debut. Gonzalez flying out to right to win the first. Tommy Henry settled down nicely, a 1-2-3 third. He set down the last 5 batters he's faced. There's the Tommy Henry changeup. That's probably his best secondary pitch. Nice fading changeup, and it's 0-2. This is lifted out to center field. There's a little bit of a breeze out there. It backs up Alec Thomas, and it carried on him almost over his head. And there's one away as we get this message from 72 Sold.
Sell your home today for thousands more than if you sold the traditional way. Just put in your address and get your price. A higher price at 72sold.com.
Well, that wind, Bob, out in center field and right center is really picked up here. It's getting breezy out there.
Yeah, there's some trees out there just above the batter's eye in center field. They're really whipping around. The flag's once again blowing straight out to right.
Yeah, I think Alec got a little fooled by that wind. The wind carried that ball a little further than he thought. Here's Jimenez. He got plunked the first time up today. Seemed to be okay. Came in and scored on a Miles Straw sacrifice fly. The game's only run so far. Jammed him that time. Rojas at second. That's a big out there for Tommy. And now it's his fellow rookie also making his major league debut today, the third baseman. In his first big league game, Tyler Freeman, who walked his first time up.
You notice Tommy Henry threw that ball out of play right there. We've got something to show the fans perhaps in the next half inning. We'll get a kick out.
All right, wow.
I mean,
that's what you call a tease in the business.
Yes, indeed. Well, I was told never to start anything like that with 2 outs in an inning. So
you got a whole batter's worth, though.
Yeah.
That's just you. Court awareness.
It's not uncommon during a baseball game as Chad Fairchild takes one off the grill. Looks like he's okay, I think. Jose Herrera immediately turns around and says, better you than me.
I imagine you hear that sound knowing, oh, it just hit the umpire behind me. 0-2 on Tyler Freeman. Just missed the corner with that fastball at 93.
He's hit 93 a few times in this ball game already. Maybe a little extra adrenaline. Maybe just one of those guys that adds and subtracts on that fastball.
1-2. Imagine as you start to get maybe a little more comfortable out there, if that's a word you can even use in this situation, that the velocity probably ticks up a little bit. The mechanics smooth out. Things start to feel just a little more normal. Looking for his second consecutive 1-2-3 inning. On the ground off the side of the mound. Easy play for Rojas, and Tommy Henry is settling in. He's set down 8 straight. And after 4 in Cleveland, Diamondbacks trailing 1-0. Diamondbacks baseball is presented by Gila River Resorts and Casinos. We're at beautiful Progressive Field here in downtown Cleveland, Ohio, where a Michigan Wolverine is making his major league debut in Buckeye country. Tommy Henry trails at 1-0, set for the top of the 5th inning. And Dalton Varsho leads it off for the Diamondbacks against Shane Bieber. Varsho shows bunt, pulls back, and takes strike 1. Time for Coors Light beating the pressure. Dalton Varsho laughs in the face of pressure. Ha! No stolen bases since the All-Star break. These teams are 1-2. Varsho is part of that, of course.
We like what we've seen from the D-backs offensively. If you've got speed, why not use it?
It's a lot more fun to watch.
Sure is.
Makes the game a lot more compelling. Small ball is making a comeback. You know they're checking the radar guns on Shane Bieber. They saw the velocity finally get pointed back in the right direction last week when he was so good at Tampa Bay. 7 innings of 1-run ball last Friday and beat the Rays. But it's still down significantly from that 2020 Cy Young season. And one question for the Guardians down the stretch will be exactly how much baseball they can get out of Shane Bieber going forward. He was a 15-game winner and an All-Star in 2019. Through 214 innings, but since then it's been a little thin. Won Cy Young in 2020, led the league in wins, strikeouts, ERA, but Of course, that was the truncated season. He threw only 77 innings. And threw barely more than that last year. He missed half the season with right shoulder trouble. So he's not really thrown much over the last 2 years now. I wonder if that will create some issues down the stretch. 2-2 on Varsho.
Yeah, he was a unanimous selection for the Cy Young in 2020 in the American League.
I mean, he won the pitcher triple crown, they call it, right? That is the pitching triple crown. When you lead the league in those 3 key categories: wins, strikeouts, ERA. At least those are the counting stats. Emmanuel Rivera on deck. 3-2 on Dalton Varsho. Pitch number 9, and they get bat right here from Shane Bieber. And Bieber warmed down. Goes to that slider, gets strikeout number 6.
I'll tell you one thing, you get to a full count against Shane Bieber, your odds of getting a base hit go way down. He's held opposing batters to an .057 batting average in full count pitches.
Pretty good. Emmanuel Rivera making his Diamondback debut today, the third baseman, with Josh Rojas getting the start at second base. Rivera acquired from the Royals Monday in a deal for Luke Weaver. Rivera was optioned out by the Royals late in spring training this year. He was brought back up from their AAA club at Omaha at the end of April. 237 and 6 home runs this season. Bieber had it for a moment, lost it, recovers, and is able to get Rivera for the second out.
You know, I was talking about how many baseballs they use during the course of a game. That ground ball will now be thrown out of the game. You know, Bieber will get a new one. His catcher Austin Hedges is standing there. This happened in 1987.
Oh, I know. Is this the Emery board?
Yeah, Joe Niekro was throwing some pitches that were doing some funny things, and they searched his glove. They looked at his hand, and whoops, what was that? Hey, what was that?
Is that yours?
An Emery board, and he immediately got ejected by the home plate umpire Tim Sheeta. They took the baseballs for evidence. I mean, it was a fairly common occurrence back in the day, which is probably why we use a different baseball every 2 or 3 pitches now.
They never do seem to run out. Jake McCarthy now. It was a good sales job, certainly. He tried.
Look over here and then tried to flip it out with the right hand, but yeah, got 4 umpires standing right there. You're not going to fool all of them.
0-1 on Jake, who grounded out his first time. That's a classic.
Well, Joe Niekro was still getting people out in 1987 at the age of 42. I always got the Niekros.
Really?
Well,
didn't
want to mess up other guys' swings, so they put me in there against the knuckleballers.
Well, you can handle it. That's the key. McCarthy, another hit in this series, a 2-out single ahead of Geraldo Perdomo.
Yeah, and he ended up pulling a 10-game suspension for defacing the baseball.
Jake in this series is now singled twice, walked twice. He's got 7 hits on the road trip. You're going to have a tough time getting him out of this lineup.
Oh, yeah. Why would you want to?
Exactly. Perdomo now 0 for 1. It's been 15 games for Jake McCarthy since he rejoined the club from Reno, and he's hit nearly .330 since he's been back up here. Nobody was happy to see David Peralta move on, but everybody understood why. And I thought it was very telling that Mike Hazen said, they hope that there's a new generation of fan favorites that people will fall in love with here on this D-backs club. And you look at just this lineup today, it's loaded with them.
Yep.
The youth movement. And Alec Thomas, Dalton Varsho, Jake McCarthy, Geraldo Perdomo, Jose Herrera, Tommy Henry.
And Josh Rojas, not technically a rookie, but he's still a young guy.
Seth Beer on the bench, not starting today after he started the first 2 games.
Speaking of David Peralta, he's 2 for 3 today for the Tampa Bay Rays.
Good for him. That's a good fit for sure. Be nice to see David get into the postseason. Watch that on TV. He'll be a free agent after this year. He can parlay that into something with another club. Bieber getting a little erratic here. He's behind on Perdomo, 3-1. Jose Herrera on deck. Approaching 75 pitches in the 5th. McCarthy on the move. Perdomo fouls that one away.
Good jump by Jake McCarthy over there at first. Once again, as a left-handed hitter, you're not sure if he's running or not. You just have to concentrate on that pitch coming in from Bieber.
This is the longest inning that Bieber has had yet. He's coming off an 18-pitch 4th. He had a 19-pitch 1st. Pitch number 20 in the 5th inning coming up right here. Three-2. There goes Jake. And we'll do it one more time.
Oh, Jake Speed, a well-placed single might score him from first base. Get those outfielders moving laterally to their right or left. You know Jake's going to be streaking around those bases.
Get him out there in the open field, running around defensive backs and linebackers, just like at Scranton. Again on 3-2. There goes McCarthy. Perdomo again just fouled. Well, the numbers don't jump out at you, certainly. Perdomo at 199 right now, but he has a knack of extending these at bats. And that's a good place to start with a guy like this who's only 22 years old.
His at-bats don't always end up with a base hit or a walk, but as you said, he does extend the at-bats, force that opposing pitcher to throw some more pitches, may pay dividends for the guys behind you in the order.
8-pitch at bat right here. There goes Jake, and finally Bieber wins the battle, gets his 7th strikeout, but it took a whole lot of pitches. It's still 1-0 in Cleveland. Stream the games in D-backs Live. You'll also get more team coverage, game replays, and exclusive content. It's D-backs Baseball on the Bally Sports app, presented locally by Nissan. Mentioned that Tommy Henry knows that he needs to succeed today by getting ahead, command the strike zone. How about this, Bob Brentley? Henry's last 2 innings, he's thrown 4 balls and 18 strikes.
Nice.
24 of Tommy Henry's last 28 pitches have been strikes.
Love it.
He set down the last 8 batters he's faced. Austin Hedges, the catcher, leads off the Guardians' 5th.
We talk all the time about trying to find your rhythm, whether it's as a hitter, a defender, or a pitcher. And early on, it looked like he was a little out of sorts out there on the mound, was spraying the ball around a little bit. But with each progressive inning, he's gotten a little bit better.
It was Hedges that had the base hit into left center field in the 2nd inning that loaded the bases for Cleveland with no outs. And Henry was in an absolute mess. Since that moment, he has not given up a base runner. 8 straight set down. They're only running a sacrifice fly. And quite a contrast for Tommy Henry. His first 33 pitches, only about half were strikes, but he has been much more on target since then. A little low that time. It's 3-1. Number 9 man, Miles Straw, the on-deck hitter. And then it's Stephen Kwan, the leadoff man. As soon as I get done telling everybody how Tommy Henry's throwing a bunch of strikes, he's behind 3-1. That's the way it goes.
The whammy on it,
right? Stupid statistics. Well, he's walked 3 and hit a batter. Leadoff man aboard. And now it's Miles Straw.
I mean, obviously, you never want to walk anybody, but if you have to walk somebody, walk the slow guys. Austin Hedges probably not a threat to steal, unlike just about everybody else in this Guardians lineup.
Straw has the RBI. A sac fly in the second. He was 0 for 8 in the series, but a very fast base runner getting up that line. Rivera comes in from third. Straw is not a guy that hits a whole lot, obviously, but he plays a very good center field, runs the bases well. They've got him locked up to a 5-year extension. This is lifted into that wind. It might carry a bit here on Thomas. It's still going to the wall, and he's got it. And Hedges was almost at second base. He has to hustle back to first. Anything out to right center is starting to carry pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Something to keep in mind if you're a center fielder or a right fielder. That ball really took off that time. Now Straw doesn't have this kind of opposite field pop, but fortunately Alec's able to get to the spot and make the catch. Deep breath.
Yeah, you said it. So 1 out now. Here's the leadoff man, Stephen Kwan, who was 0 for 2. He hit into a big double play to win the second that really bailed out Tommy Henry. He was in a bases loaded, no out jam. A little toss down to first from Herrera. And Hedges has to dive back. You think one catcher would give the other catcher a break? Is that not in the bylaws anywhere?
No.
They're all in the same club. I thought you guys had your own fraternity manual.
It's usually only after you retire.
Hey, here's all the stuff we wouldn't tell you before while you were playing.
Yeah. Joe Garagiola used to tell a great joke about catchers shaking hands and you need a crowbar to get them apart because of all the bent fingers. You get 2 hands together and you can't get them separated.
Tommy's starting to fall behind in these counts. He's walked 1 in the inning already, 3 in the ball game. This is punched through by Perdomo into left, a base hit for Kwan. And now it's Emmanuel Rosario. Boy, Stephen Kwan, what a series he's had. He's been on base all week.
He's a good looking player. I mean, I've seen some highlights of Stephen Kwan from time to time late at night, but getting a chance to watch him play 9 innings 3 days in a row, this guy's a good ball player.
Kwan has now put together a 17-game hitting streak, and he's hitting over 360 during that streak. First and second, 1 out for Rosario, who has grounded out, struck out. He's 0 for 2. Another hot hitter in this Guardians lineup. Rosario in his last 20 games is batting .345. Sends one deep to center. Thomas is really going to have to hustle, but he's not going to get this one. It's way out of here. And Emmanuel Rosario with his second home run in this series, and it's 4-0 Cleveland. Boy, that got in that wind and took off way over everything out there in center.
I was hoping against hope that Alec Thomas was peeling off of that fence to play a carom once again, but that ball just never came down. Looked like Rosario hit it out toward the end of the bat a little bit, but he goes into his home run trot right away. He knew he got enough.
Leading the American League in hits, Emmanuel Rivera had a big night Monday, the 2-run homer early, then the 11th inning walk-off hit. And now a 3-run homer today, his 6th of the year, 450 feet, and there it is. The winner of the Emmanuel Rivera Home Run Derby contest. Here is Jose Ramirez. Tommy Henry got himself in trouble in the second. Did a nice job getting out of it. Got to put that behind him. 75 pitches, 46 strikes. 2-1 on Ramirez, who has walked and flied out. Ramirez, a switch hitter, not nearly as effective from the right side. Batting just .240 as a right-hand batter. Got the call that time from Chad Fairchild. A little slider back door, and it's 2-2. And Rosario, his 6th of the year, has made it 4-0. And now you deal with Ramirez, an all-star this year for the 4th time in his career. He is 3rd in the major leagues in extra base hits, behind only Austin Riley and Aaron Judge. Little guy packs a big punch. They were really concerned they might lose Jose Ramirez. He is a fan favorite, and that's an understatement. But they worked out an extension moments before opening day. He was one of these guys who said, I'm not going to negotiate during the season, and then I might walk. So he got 7 years, $141 million. Just as the bus was leaving the parking lot. $80 pitches for Tommy now, 51 strikes. Guardians 4 runs on 4 hits. Long at bat by Ramirez. Long day for the youngster Henry. Another 2-2.
Up and down the lineup, all these Guardians hitters. You get to 2 strikes and you think, okay, quick inning, I'll put this guy away and get the next guy, and then they just start fouling pitches off, laying off borderline pitches.
6 consecutive foul balls off the bat of Jose Ramirez, and we'll keep going here on 2-2. Make it 7. My goodness. Kevin Ginkel starts to get loose in the Diamondback bullpen. Henry over 80 pitches. Shane Bieber, the Guardian starter, had an 8-pitch 3rd inning. Ramirez has fouled off 7 consecutive pitches in this at bat alone. And Tommy Henry wins the battle, gets the strikeout. He offered on the curveball.
No, it wasn't the slider, but it was a back foot curveball. That's close to what Dad was asking for against Ramirez. Very close that time. Ramirez is sure he didn't go, but Chad Fairchild is the only guy who met.
Owen Miller has singled and grounded out the first baseman. Bats cleanup. He homered here in the opener on Monday. Miller's a right-hand batter who does not hit lefties. He's one of those reverse platoon split guys. Came into today hitting about $190 versus lefties and just over 100 plate appearances. Terry Francona would much prefer that his lineup face a right-hand pitcher than a lefty. Lefties present more problems for the way this team is constituted. Here's the skipper. Everyone around here is terrified he might decide to retire after this year. They don't want to lose him.
You talk about the Guardians versus right-handed starters as opposed to lefties. They're 36 and 38 against right-handed starters this year, 17 and 12 against left-handed starters. But I would tend to agree with you. I want Jose Ramirez up there left-handed whenever I can.
Oh yeah, sure. Two and two on Miller. And Tommy Henry finishes off the 5th inning with a couple of strikeouts, but Emmanuel Rivera's 6th and his 2nd home run in this series, and has made it 4-0 Guardians. Afternoon in downtown Cleveland, not so much on the scoreboard. Diamondbacks trail the Guardians 4-0. Don't forget, Guy Fieri's downtown Phoenix Kitchen and Bar is open 7 days a week inside Caesars Sportsbook at Chase Field. You can dive into some of the delicious options on the menu, like the bacon mac and cheese burger or the bourbon brown sugar barbecue wing. Visit dvax.com/guy and check out the whole menu. Had lunch there a couple of times. It's great.
Yeah, it looks great.
Well, Shane Bieber back out there to start the 6th. And he'll face the number 9 hitter, catcher Jose Herrera. Diamondbacks have been out hit 4-2. They trail it 4-zip. Only hit so far for the Diamondbacks, Alec Thomas. A double in the 4th. Jake McCarthy a single in the 5th. Bieber has retired the first 10 batters he faced today. He's been in control throughout. Diamondbacks on this trip alone have faced Kyle Wright, Ian Anderson, Max Fried, and Shane Bieber. I mean, they did not get the luck of the draw on this trip.
Not at all. Sometimes you do get lucky and you bump up against a team and you face the bottom of their starting rotation or somebody they pulled out of the bullpen to make a spot start, but not this trip.
Herrera knocks it into left center. There's a lot of room out there, and Jose will stop at first, a leadoff single. Good start to the 6th inning.
Boy, Jose gets a fastball up and out over the plate. I mentioned don't miss the mistakes. That was a mistake. He hits it right at the second base umpire, Will Little, who's not allowed to make a play on that ball.
That would be something, wouldn't it? What do you rule that? Call New York and let them figure it out.
Put the headsets on.
Josh Rojas in the leadoff spot, 0-for-2. Josh has had a difficult road trip against all these good pitchers we just mentioned. He's 2-for-22 so far on the trip. And he bounces into a potential double play. Jimenez, Rosario, and they cannot turn it. Rojas is safe at first. Bring up Alec Thomas. Alec doubled his last time up after Bieber had retired the first 10 batters of the ball game.
You saw that little move by Alec Thomas right there. He does that before every pitch. I watch guys in their routines in the batter's box, and he always bends over with both hands and just lightly touches the dirt before getting in that batter's box.
Idiosyncrasies.
Part of the routine.
What was yours?
Oh, I had so many, and it would change day to day.
But you had a very unique batting stance, so the two are often connected.
It evolved. As a matter of fact, it kind of evolved from Dick McAuliffe. Remember him, the second baseman for the Tigers? Yeah, sure. Dick McAuliffe had kind of an open stance, and they asked him why, and he said, "My nose is so big, I need to face the pitcher so I can see him with both eyes."
Come on.
Yeah. So I kind of opened up my stance so I could get a real good look at the pitcher, and then I would close up as the ball was being delivered. It looked really awkward, but it felt comfortable to me.
All that mattered were the results. Well set by Bieber. Runs that cutter in there. Alec Thomas did not have a hit in the series in Atlanta. He's had a big series in Cleveland, 5 hits, including a pair of doubles. Knocked in 2 runs in the ball game last night. This is up in the air, deep to right field. Gonzalez backing up at the track, at the wall, and it's gone. Alec Thomas cuts the lead in half. That's his 8th, and it's 4-2. Anything out to right and right center is going to get a little extra boost.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That ball didn't make the same sound off the bat that we've heard from Christian Walker and Carson Kelly the last couple of days. It made a thud when he made contact, but he got it up in the air, and I think that wind did help him just enough.
Sounded good on TV. Yeah. See that flag out there? That wind is going straight out to right center field. And it's a 4-2 ball game. Diamondbacks back in this thing. Here's Cattell, who has struck out twice against Bieber, and down now 0-1. That's a jumbo jack. Free jumbo jack tomorrow at Jack in the Box. For the purchase of a large drink. And the D-backs hit big, you win big. At Jack in the Box. 375 on the distance for Alec Thomas, his 8th home run this year. He's got 6 hits in the series. Marte punches one the other way. Kwan tracks it down near the line. And that's out number 2.
It doesn't really matter how far they go as long as they get over the fence. Dusty Baker used to talk about that with Hank Aaron all the time. Of course, Dusty hit behind Hank down in Atlanta, and he said Hank never hit a 500-foot home run. They were always 347 over the 345 mark. 377 over the 375 mark.
All count the same.
They sure do.
Didn't have to worry about StatCast in those days. Or color TV.
Yeah, for that matter. Or TV, period.
Christian Walker. Well, Walker has hit 3-run homers in each of the first 2 games of this series. 0 for 2 so far today. It's 90 pitches now for Bieber. 63 for strikes. There's activity in their bullpen. James Karinchak, we saw him in the opener on Monday night. Right-hander. Chase the slider, and it's 1-2. Well, that's the pitch that used to get Christian a lot. Hardly ever anymore. He's really come a long way in that regard. Tries to get an offer at that fastball away, and now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Goes back to the slider, gets the strikeout. That's 8 for Bieber. But Alec Thomas with a 2-run homer has cut that lead in half. Home run by Alec Thomas has made it a 4-2 ball game here in Cleveland. Set for the home half of the 6th inning. Sunday, D-backs Spanish broadcast is back. Valley Sports Arizona Extra with Hall of Famer Oscar Soria and Sabado Rodrigo. Game 3 of the series with Colorado. Coverage of the D-backs and Rockies in Spanish starts at 1 on Valley Sports Arizona Extra and streaming of the Valley Sports app.
Did you happen to see the back of their booth?
Oh, what's up?
It's like a living room. They've got couches and love seats and all kinds of stuff in the back of the booth there.
Well, we don't have that.
No.
They earned it. New pitcher for the Diamondbacks on in relief of Tommy Henry is the right-hander Kevin Ginkel, who was dominating in Reno this year and extremely impressive in his return Monday here against the Guardians. He said this feels like the second chapter of his career.
Pitched an inning and a third in that opening game of this series. Struck out 3 batters, gave up only 1 base hit.
Oscar Gonzalez will lead it off for the Guardians. Ginkel came out here Monday and simply dominated. 20 pitches, 17 for strikes, 3 strikeouts, and 1 1/3. Put up similar numbers as we mentioned. You saw those a moment ago with the Reno Aces this year. Gonzalez hits this one pretty deep and out of here on a line. He just cleared the high fence out there in left center for his 3rd home run. That's a nice catch. Guardians get one right back. It's 5-2.
I was hoping that wasn't high enough to get over that tall wall out there in the left and left center, but it just does sneak over into the front row out there.
Rookie Oscar Gonzalez. 402. That was enough. So you got it. Went right to her. Tremendous play by those two out there. Andres Jimenez. Gonzalez is a young hitter that they like a lot. There's still some rough edges there, but a lot of talent. Only 24 years old. Big guy, 6'4". Line that one right out of here. Jimenez has had a career in this series. 4 hits, 3 stolen bases Monday night. Last night singled, walked twice. He scored twice in this series. Actually make it 3 times now. And a terrific play over there by the veteran first base coach Sandy Alomar Jr.
Played the carom off the front of the dugout over there. Barehanded it, gave it to a fan.
Mike Sarbaugh coaching at third for Tito Francona. 1-2. And Ginkel comes back and gets the strikeout. To the fastball that time. Let's go down to Jody Jackson. Jody.
Guys, obviously Ginkel called up the other day. I talked to pitching coach Brent Strom about him. He said, you know, I noticed him right away during spring with that slider, but he also has a connection with him. They're both from San Diego. Brent Strom living in Tucson, and of course Kevin going to the U of A. And he said, you know what, he just loves what he's doing right now. Carson Kelly noticed the other day after Kevin's outing, he said, you know what, we love that slider the way it's looking. Obviously a bit of a struggle here with the homer and now a hit, but they think he's made a lot of progress.
And that's the first major league hit of Tyler Freeman's career. He's got a whole bunch of friends and family in the ballpark today. In his major league debut, Tyler Freeman took a big turn, thought about second for a moment, but he's in the hit column in the big leagues. And there's the Freeman contingent here today.
See how far off the line Christian Walker is. That ball slicing down into the right field corner. Yeah, I think the Guardians saw Dalton Varsho the other night when he hustled over there and got a ball in the corner and threw out somebody at second base. I forget who hit that ball, but
that was Ramirez on that RBI. Yeah, in the first inning. And an RBI single, trying to stretch it into a double, and Marshall fired a strike in there to second to get him. Yeah, this is a team that thinks double out of the box, the Cleveland Guardians, and that certainly seemed to be what Freeman was thinking there. Edges has singled and walked. You may have already noticed Kevin Ginkel's. And when you look at him, it's hard to believe that this is actually toned down, but this is less of a crouch than we used to see. It's just the one crouch to start. There it is. And from that point on, he's pretty much upright in standard. That slider got away from him. 2-0. Lefty Tyler Holton warming up in the bullpen. Might be getting ready for Kwan. And an off day coming up tomorrow. Torrey can match up with his bullpen despite the bullpen parade we saw Monday. Fastball there at 94 for a strike.
Yeah, we talked about it. Even though just about everybody pitched out of the bullpen on Monday, nobody really got overextended. They didn't throw a lot of pitches. So with an off day tomorrow, I would imagine everybody's available.
And D-backs fly back home after the game today. Didn't get the call there. That missed somewhere for Chad Fairchild. 3-1 now. Getaway day here. Back home tonight. Off day tomorrow. Mad Bum on the mound. Friday in the opener at home against Colorado. And it's Merrill Kelly and Zach Davies. Freeman on the run. This is in the air to center. Drifting over toward the left is Thomas. And there are 2 outs in the 6th. Mad Bum was originally supposed to start today's game. That got changed to TBA earlier this week. They pushed Bum back with the off day tomorrow to Friday just to get him some extra rest. That's when Tommy Henry's name popped up on everyone's radar here to make the start today. There's Miles Strong. He's flied out twice, once to drive in a run back in the 2nd. Christian might want the Diamondbacks to take a look at that. Torrey Lovullo is saying hold on. Waves it off, no challenge. Slider right on the corner, and it's 0-1. Cleveland 5 runs, 6 hits. They've hit 2 home runs. D-backs 2 runs, 4 hits. They have 1. Alec Thomas in the top half of the 6th inning. Back to the slider, and it's 0-2. It has always been a wipeout pitch for Kevin Ginkel when he's got it. That slider was just filthy in 2019 when we first saw Kevin. He was extremely impressive. He has struggled ever since. And Torrey Lovullo made it a point to say the other day that he said, I don't want to worry about that guy, that 2019 guy. I'm focused on this Kevin Ginkel. I like this one too. He's been throwing the ball well, the 2022 version.
Not only that wipeout slider, but his velo has been really good. 97, 98. He elevates that fastball.
He's attacking the zone. He's landing pitches for strikes. The velo's been good.
Here comes the slider.
1-2 on Miles Strong. Reaches out and pokes it to second for Rojas. Oscar Gonzalez adds to the Guardians' lead, his 3rd this season, has made it 5-2 Cleveland. in the game. We check out the T-Mobile coverage cam. Alec Thomas having a tremendous series here in Cleveland. A 2-run home run in the 6th out to right center. His 8th of the year. At that point, it made it 4-2 Cleveland. Oscar Gonzalez's homer to make it 5-2 Guardians. Now there's a new pitcher out there for Cleveland to start the top of the 7th inning. It's the right-hander James Karinchak, who started the season on the injured list with a bad back. He was recalled July the 3rd, only about a month ago. We saw him strike out 2 lefties when he worked the 8th inning Monday here. He got Varsho and Beer. And he'll face Dalton Varsho to start this 7th inning. Holton struck out twice against Bieber. He's 0 for 2.
Karinchak, you see him flipping that ball from his glove over into his throwing hand. He's got a lot of things going on out there as well before he throws the ball.
It's no wonder he had back trouble, right?
Kind of a herky-jerky delivery designed to throw off a hitter's timing.
James Karinchak went to college in beautiful Smithfield, Rhode Island. He went to Bryant. 9th round pick by the Guardians in 2017.
Yeah, despite all the stuff he does before he throws the ball, he comes right over the top.
95. He brings some gas. It's 1-2 on Varsho. There's a look at the defense against him. He's trying to float the curveball in there and missed. Varsho did not offer. It's 2-2. Holton hits it right through the overshift. And it's a base hit to start the 7th. Guys don't hit away from the shift. They try to hit over it or through it. Or they just bunt to the other side.
Yeah, that works too.
Diamondback debut today for Emmanuel Rivera, acquired Monday from Kansas City in the trade for pitcher Luke Weaver. So far, he has grounded out twice, 0 for 2. Shane Bieber today went 6 innings for Cleveland. Gave up 2 runs, 4 hits, did not walk a batter, had 8 strikeouts. Tommy Henry with that home run by Rosario, touched up for 4 earned in 5. He punched out 3, walked 3. 1-1 on Rivera. They'll keep an eye on Varsho.
Only one of the Tommy Henry walks came around to score. That was Austin Hedges down in that 8th spot. He scored on the Rosario home run.
The batter he hit, Jimenez, did score on that Miles Straw sac fly in the 2nd that opened the scoring for Cleveland. Tommy 89 pitches, 58 strikes. Emmanuel Rivera's rookie status still intact for this year. He played 29 games with Kansas City last year, his first look at the big leagues. He lost a month last summer, suffered a broken hamate bone in his left hand. Just turned 26 years old at the end of June.
Rivera can't check. Offered at the curveball, and Karinchak gets the strikeout. Jake McCarthy now. Jake singled his last time up, 1 for 2. His 7th hit on this road trip. He's also walked 3 times.
When a guy that throws right over the top drops that curveball in there, it looks like somebody's dropping it out of the upper deck. Full extension up above his head.
Varsho on the move. McCarthy swings through. No throw from Hedges. And Dalton's in at second.
Yeah, Karinchak was the guy on Monday. We saw him come into the ball game, and he's got that little thing he does with his glove and his throwing hand when he kind of drops his hand down, touches his thigh, and then goes into his delivery. Jake McCarthy stole a base and advanced on to third on a throwing error.
Jake behind in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. McCarthy gets it up into the wind. Miles Straw backing up, backpedaling to the warning track. Varsho at second. He'll tag up easily and head for third. 2 outs in the 7th, and the batter is Geraldo Perdomo.
Get him on that plate. You don't have to get them all at once.
Geraldo has grounded out, struck out against Bieber, 0 for 2. Diamondbacks have been out hit 6-5. They trail at 5-2. There's the first pitch curveball for a strike. There it is again. And then the fastball up. He strands Varsho at third. We stretch in Cleveland. Diamondbacks trail the Guardians 5-2. Major League debut of Tommy Henry, the rookie lefty. Our Nationwide Vision eye on the game. What does your eye see?
Well, I like the stuff. Obviously, he struggled a little bit with this command, especially with that fastball. He worked a lot of them across the top of the zone. Some of them, unfortunately, too high above the zone. But I thought, all in all, a very good debut for Tommy Henry.
Diamondbacks could not do much with Shane Bieber, the former Cy Young winner. Gave up just 2 runs in 6 innings and 8 strikeouts. This was the big hit against Henry. Ahmed Rosario in the 5th, a 3-run shot that broke the game open. Diamondbacks answered in the 6th. Alec Thomas, a 2-run homer. Alec has doubled and homered. And then Kevin Ginkel came on to start the 6th. First batter he faced, Oscar Gonzalez. A line drive home run. That's where we stand. It is 5-2 Guardians. And the new pitcher for the Diamondbacks, left-hander Tyler Holton, added to the D-backs roster from the taxi squad on this trip. He has worked a pair of scoreless innings, including Monday's game here against Cleveland. Left-hand batting Stephen Kwan will lead off the inning. Then you'll face Rosario, and then you'll spin Ramirez around to the right side against the lefty Holton. Kwan 1 for 3. A single his last time up. The rookie left-hand batter who has now hit safely in 17 consecutive games. Holton figures to only get 3 batters in this inning. If he doesn't get all three, they've got Emmanuel Ramirez starting to get loose down there.
Kwan always a threat to bunt for a base hit.
There's no way. The right-hander is starting to warm up in the bullpen. Holton faced only one batter Monday. Came on to strike out Josh Naylor to win the 5th in that series opener. He's behind on Kwan, 3-1. And then Rosario, who launched a long home run his last time up, is on deck. Activity in the Cleveland pen as well. It's popped up behind second. Rojas will give way to Varsho. Long way for Dalton to come in now. And they retire Kwan. Well, Med Rosario came up in a tight game in the 5th inning and launched a long home run. 3-run shot out to center, 450 feet. His 6th of the season and his 2nd home run in this series.
When I saw it the first time with the naked eye, I thought it landed in the camera well out there. It cleared everything.
Yeah.
It was out onto the concourse.
Almost not to the Jim Thome statue, not quite. That's how Thome used to hit him. Rosario powers one into the left field corner. It's off the base of the wall for McCarthy, and Ahmed Rosario's hot hitting continues. A 1-out double.
That's a danger you run when you bring a left-handed pitcher in the game to turn Ramirez around and face Stephen Kwan. You got that righty Rosario wedged in between them, and he pulls one down into that left field corner for a double. That's why Joe Mantiply has been so good this year for the Diamondbacks. You bring him into the ballgame, it doesn't matter if he's facing righties or lefties.
We've got 2 right-hand batters up behind Ramirez, so this figures to be Holton's last hitter, the final of his requisite 3. What they do, as you mentioned, flip Ramirez around to his weaker side. He has walked, flied out, struck out 0 for 2. Bounced a curveball up there.
Big loopy curveball from Tyler Holton. Nice job that time by Jose Herrera to square it up right in the middle of that chest protector. Keep the ball in front.
Is that the first thing you think about doing that? Your shoulders?
Yeah, you definitely want to keep your shoulders
square.
Yeah. So if the ball does hit you in the chest protector or up high on the chest protector, it'll drop in front of you. If you've got your shoulders angled one way or the other and it hits your chest protector, it's going to end up in the on deck circle.
I imagine as soon as you see the ball hit the dirt, you think shoulders, right? No, just block it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, just throw a body part in front of it.
2-2. Play on at second. They'll keep an eye on Rosario back there.
Well, that was one thing. You talk to any catcher, the thing you hated the most about spring training was usually once a week they'd set up the pitching machine down in the bullpen. All right, we're going to block balls today.
Yay.
Oh boy.
Full count, 3-2 on Jose Ramirez.
But it's a necessary drill because, as we've talked about many times before, if it's a fastball, it's probably going to skip straight. If it's a breaking ball, depending on the spin, it's going to go one way or the other.
Just out of the reach of Rojas. Rosario coming around. It rolls away out there in right center. And Ramirez noticed that, hustles into second. Somehow it kicked away from Alec Thomas out there, and it's another Guardians run, 6-2. That allowed Ramirez to get the extra 90 feet. Rosario was going to score anyway, it seemed like. But there was some Michigats out there in right center. Here comes Torey Lovullo to go get his right-hander, Noe Ramirez. And the Guardians now with 8 hits. They lead it 6-2. Back from Cleveland right after this. At Progressive Field in Cleveland, our Gila River Resorts and Casinos game summary. Tommy Henry in his major league debut. A lot of good. One bad, the big 3-run home run by Emmanuel Rivera, who has had a big day, a home run, a double. It's now 6-2 here in Cleveland. And the new pitcher for the Diamondbacks, right-hander Noe Ramirez. Noe had a couple of scoreless relief outings on the road trip. First in Atlanta when he struck out 3 of the 4 he faced, and then he worked Monday here against the Guardians. Still trying to get a clarification on that last play. That one thing says single RBI E8, the other says double E8. Either way, it seemed like Alec Thomas had an issue out there. So Owen Miller will be the hitter.
They're trying to make sure Jose Ramirez leads the American League in doubles. That was number 35, if indeed they called it a double.
Might be, right?
Yeah.
Ramirez leading the league in doubles, 3rd in the majors in extra base hits. They're saying double. And the error. And they're taking the error off the board now. All right.
For the time being. Stay
Right.
tuned.
Never know. So it's just an RBI double for Ramirez if you're scoring with us. Miller singled his first time up today, 1 for 3. Rivera charges from 3rd and makes a nice play. As Ramirez has to stay put at second. That's out number 2 as we get this message from 72 Sold.
Sell your home today for thousands more than if you sold the traditional way. Just put in your address and get your price. A higher price at 72sold.com.
Here is the big 6'4", 240-pound rookie, Oscar Gonzalez, who hit a line drive home run off Kevin Ginkel his last time up, his 3rd this year.
Gonzalez only 24 years old. He got on everyone's radar here in Cleveland last year. In the minors, hit .293, belted 31 home runs in both AA and AAA. And he led their organization in hits, homers, RBIs, and OPS. Now here he is.
That'll get somebody's attention,
right?
We were talking about last night, the Guardians should have a basketball team. They got a bunch of big dudes.
Everybody's 6'4". You look at Oscar Gonzalez, you see that big number 39. You're thinking a right-handed Dave Parker.
There you go.
The Cobra.
Too bad we didn't have exit velocity back in the day. I don't know if anybody ever hit the ball harder than Dave Parker.
Those records would still be standing.
Oh, man.
Well, what an arm, too. Yep. The outfield. What a player. Gonzalez has a similar presence about him, certainly. Just off the injured list yesterday. He was out for a month with an intercostal strain, which you tell me is a rib.
I believe. Yeah,
I believe you.
I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on TV, but it sounds like a rib injury.
Oh, how about that block by Herrera just to scoop that one.
How did he get that ball? And watch Herrera after he gets the ball. He's not proud of himself for keeping it from the backstop. He's looking to pick somebody off. I'm going to get you.
Looks like a hockey goalie. Ramirez still at second, 2 outs, 1 and 2 on Oscar Gonzalez. Scoops one out to deep left center. That ball's carrying again. And Gonzalez just missed another one. It's high off that wall for an RBI double. And it's 7-2 Guardians. Well, they're excited about this young man, Oscar Gonzalez. That came within about a foot of getting out of here.
You mentioned it. He kind of scooped that one. Went down and got it. Lifted that ball high in the air to left field. Unfortunately, Alec Thomas has had enough of these in this series that he's getting really good at playing the caroms. Has himself right in the right position to get that ball back into the infield quickly, but the Guardians tack on another one.
Gonzalez has homered and doubled today. The batter is the second baseman, the All-Star, Andres Jimenez. Walker at first, calls off Ramirez. And that ends the 7th. But Cleveland gets 2 more. They lead at 7-2. Gonzalez, with a home run and a double, comes out of the game in favor of rookie Will Benson, just called up from the minor leagues on Monday. Benson takes over as the new right fielder. MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit to Chase Field. You can buy and manage your game tickets, unlock offers, access exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. Trevor Stephan, the right-hander, is the new pitcher for the Guardians. That's a Rule 5 pick from the Yankees. And he's having an excellent season, a 2.45 ERA, his 41st appearance.
Gave up an unearned run on Monday. Had the ghost runner Josh Rojas on at second base when he came into the ball game. Alec Thomas had an infield single, but then a double play ball and a pop up to short, and the inning was over.
Jose Herrera, who singled into left center field his last time up, leads off the game. Are you kidding me? Do you want the bad news?
Well, I'm sure they changed it.
Yeah, you're right on the money. It is now that Ramirez play, by the way. Get out your erasers, kids. And has now been changed back to a single and RBI. And an error on the center fielder Thomas, so that's a single RBI E8.
Just as we suspect.
Correct. Looks like my SAT form. Didn't go all that well. Diamondbacks have not won a series in this city in 20 years. 2002. Which would have been in this ballpark, right?
Yeah.
And it was the Jake.
Yeah, good call.
Jacobs Field. Now Progressive Field. 2002, last time the D-backs won a series here under skipper Bob Brimley. Long run for Kwan, and tremendous effort there. Where's the baseball?
Boy, he came close. I thought that ball was easily going to get into the stands down there.
Yeah.
Kwan went way up over the wall to try to make a catch there.
A rookie out of Oregon State, Stephen Kwan.
He didn't miss by much.
He really hit that wall hard, too. Three and two on Jose Herrera. Try one more over there.
Yeah. You know, one thing, when we came in here in 2002, as you said, then the Jake, everybody wanted to see the toothbrush lights. If you look at the lights above the stadium here, they kind of look like toothbrushes.
They've been on all day, and when you look at the stadium from several blocks away, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
It's a very imposing stadium. It's lovely inside. Really nice. Right across the street from the Cavaliers arena. 3-2. And Herrera already with a one base hit. Builds that into right field. He's 2 for 3. Jose Herrera.
Jose having himself a nice day at the plate. Gets a center cut fastball that time and pulls it into right field. Oh boy.
He's an easy guy to root for, Jose Herrera, just 25 years old. He's grown up in this system. His 8th season in the Diamondbacks organization, signed in Venezuela when he was 16. Josh Rojas, a leadoff hitter, 0 for 3. It has been a rough trip for Josh. 2 for 23 in Atlanta and Cleveland. Got the start today, his first this year at second base, with Emmanuel Rivera at third. Josh, when he first came up 3 years ago, was an infielder asked to play a lot of outfield. Last season played 55 games at second base, but today gets his first look this year.
And did a nice job in the outfield.
Yeah. He sort of fits that role of super utility guy. You want to try to create some versatility. Some guys pick up on it, other guys just can't do it. Josh seems like a guy you could put anywhere and he'd do just fine.
Counts. Gotta have guys like that on the team.
Rojas dunks one into right field. First two have reached in the 8th. And the guy you want up the plate right now is coming up, Alec Thomas, who has doubled and homered today. This was the home run in the 6th. His 8th of the year. StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud.
Decent exit velocity of 95. Just gets it over the 375 mark out there.
Diamondbacks today with runners in scoring position are 0 for 4. Guardians have gone 4 for 8. Ramirez at second and Rojas at first with nobody out. Diamondbacks trying to close this road trip with a series win today. We've not been to Cleveland since 2014, but they have some work to do here. Down 5 in the 8th inning. Oh, 2 on Alec Thomas. Stephen gets him to swing and miss on that split finger pitch. And there's one away.
I see Cattell get it going right here. Number one, he hasn't gotten a lot of good pitches to hit. I'm sure that the Guardians circled Ketel Marte in the lineup as a guy you don't want to let beat you. They've made some nasty pitches on him, but he's swung at a lot of bad pitches too.
He is 2 for 22 on the road trip. Ketel Marte 0 for 3 today, struck out twice. That's the same pitch that just struck out Thomas. It's 0-1.
That's a good one. Good arm action. Looks like it's going to be a fastball. Everything Marte sees tells him fastball, and then just floats up there and dives down toward the dirt.
And comes in with a heater for a strike, and it's 0-2. Guardians 7 runs, 9 hits. They have left 5 base runners out there. Diamondbacks 2 runs, 7 hits. They have stranded 3. Activity in the Cleveland bullpen. Kirk McCarthy, the lefty.
Just pounding away with that splitter down in the zone. Called strike on a borderline fastball that Ketel didn't really think too much of, but now it's just been a steady diet of splitters.
Christian Walker on deck. 2-2 on Ketel Marte. Tough take right there. That splitter floated up. It's full. Carl Willis, the pitching coach, on the right there. Three-two. Marte strikes out for the 3rd time today. Second consecutive strikeout for Stephan, and there's 2 down.
Another splitter. Serves a dual purpose. Number one, it's a ground ball pitch. It's always moving down. And number two, it's off speed. So tell way out in front that time.
Well, we've already played nearly 8 innings, and Christian Walker is yet to hit a 3-run homer.
What?
Yeah.
Come on.
Hard to believe, I know. Phoenix Mercury basketball coming up Saturday. New York Liberty will be in town. You can check it out on Bally Sports Arizona Extra at 7 o'clock. Cindy Brunson on the call with a Hall of Famer and Myers Drysdale. Walker had a 3-run home run in the 4th inning on Monday, and then a 3-run shot in the 1st inning last night. He's up there with 2 on and 2 out. Fastball's a strike. It's 0-2. Went to the slider that time. Oh, nice mix.
On the slider right there in the middle of the plate for him. See that kind of a swing on a slider, and the guy has a splitter like Stefan does. I would imagine he's going to go to his other secondary stuff, that hard splitter.
Walker lays off at that pitch. Stefan is a big dude out there. Put him on the basketball team.
Sure.
6'5".
6-man.
3rd round pick by the Yankees out of Arkansas. Cleveland picked him up as a Rule 5 selection. Up. Jose Herrera still down there at second. Josh Rojas at first. 2 outs. 1 and 2 on Walker. And he finally wore him down with that split finger pitch. 3 consecutive strikeouts after the 2 base hits, and it stays 7-2. The rubber game of this 3-game set. We fly back home after this one. Off day tomorrow. We're back on Friday to open up a 3-game homestand against the Colorado Rockies. Coverage starts at 6 o'clock. D-Backs live pregame show right here on Bally Sports Arizona and streaming on the Bally Sports app. Madison Bumgarner will open that series against Colorado Friday. Then it's Merrill Kelly on Saturday. Zach Davies in the finale on Sunday. Then it's 4 against the battling Buccos from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, all 3 of those games against the Rockies, their starter is TBA. Usually there's at least one guy you can identify that's going to start one of the 3 games of the series, but all 3 of them are TBA.
Well, there was some thought that they might move some of their pitchers. Yeah. I guess they decided not to. Tyler Freeman, who is making his major league debut today, the 3rd baseman, has walked in single. And he looks at strike 1 from Noe Ramirez. Tyler Freeman, 23 years old, second-round pick out of high school in Rancho Cucamonga. On to center, Alec Thomas is there in front of the warning track for the first out. Thanks to everybody who took a crack at our Bally Sports Arizona Twitter poll quiz question today. What is the best baseball movie? Major League. Oh, Rexy, I don't think this one's got the distance. Nearly half the vote over Bull Durham and Lee Goen. What do you mean too high?
I'm a little partial to Bull Durham myself. I thought that was a more accurate portrayal of what minor league baseball really looks like.
What's our record? 8-16. How'd we ever win 8?
It's a miracle.
It's a miracle. Austin Hedges has singled and walked. Of course, there's For Love of the Game, which is the Kevin Costner movie. Which is really sort of a romance story disguised as a baseball movie, but the way they shot the baseball sequences in that movie I thought was really compelling.
Yeah.
And of course you've got the late great Vin Scully as part of the film there, with Kevin Costner as the veteran pitcher.
Was that the one where he had to clear the mechanism?
Clear the mechanism, yeah.
Clear the mechanism. And they would zoom in from a shot of the entire ballpark, boom, right on the pitcher.
What I didn't like about that, the one thing I thought was off with that movie was the catcher's name was Gus Sinski, and he always wore his Tigers cap everywhere on the street with the street clothes. Never seen a major league player at any position do that, but then again, catchers,
well,
they get hit in the head a lot.
Probably took one off the squatchy at some point in his career.
Austin Hedges. Emmanuel Rivera. Our director Brian Moss, a longtime Tiger fan, points out they were also in the film wearing the wrong hats. It's a colored home and away cap thing.
Well, Brian would know. He would.
But for pure laughs, well, Bull Durham's probably right there with Major League for pure laughs. It's neck and neck.
Yeah. I think, like I said, I think Bull Durham was meant to be a more accurate portrayal of minor league baseball, where Major League was just for yucks, and it had a lot of them.
Post-game show brought to you by, well, never mind.
Never mind.
I can't find it. Miles Straw. Noe Ramirez working on a 1-2 3/8 inning. After he got 2 outs in the 7th. I think most people know that Major League movie, even the team, is the Cleveland team, actually filmed in Milwaukee on the baseball stuff. County Stadium, I guess, was available.
I think County Stadium was available for regular season games for the then Indians back several seasons ago. There was snow, rain, and sleet, and the Indians had to move their home games to Milwaukee when the Brewers went on the road.
I think the Cubs had to do that for a while too.
Carlos Zambrano threw a no-hitter against the Houston Astros at Miller Park.
For the Cubs in Milwaukee. That doesn't happen a lot. 2-2. Yeah, good call. Full count on Miles Straw, the center fielder. 3-2. Stephen Kwan waiting on deck. Right at the knees, 4, strike 3. Noe works a 1-2-3 inning. And to the 9th we go in Cleveland. It's 7-2. Mostly all Cleveland Guardians in today's series finale. They lead it 7-2, set for the top of the 9th inning at Progressive Field. Big day though for Alec Thomas, a double in the 4th and a home run in the 6th inning. Our Chaz Roberts, air conditioning and plumbing, cool play of the game, his 8th of the year.
You know, one thing I think fans and certainly managers always hope for is to get everybody in the lineup swinging the bat well at the same time. And the Diamondbacks haven't been able to do that for any amount of time this season. You know, Marte gets hot and Peralta cooled off. Christian Walker gets hot and Carson Kelly cools off. Be nice just to see a nice stretch of the season where everybody's swinging the bat well.
That's how you get those winning streaks.
Yep.
Here's the little right-hander out of Gonzaga, Eli Morgan. We saw him in the opener on Monday. Gave up a couple of hits in the 1 inning of work. Dalton Varsho leads off the 9th. Second season with the Guardians for Eli Morgan. 5'10", 190 pounds. He would not make the basketball team.
No.
For the Guardians, unless he was a really good point guard. Varsho sends one out to right. It's in front of Benson, and Dalton has his 2nd hit today.
Well, somebody's got to take the ball out of bounds.
That's what they told you.
That was my job when I played collegiate summer ball in Bloomington, Illinois. Jack Sikma and Doug Collins used to come over and work out at the field house.
Now, Jack Sikma, Illinois Wesleyan, I think.
Correct.
Top of my head, and Collins was from one of those.
I think Illinois
too, right?
State, I think, but you know, these guys would come over and play pickup games, so you know, occasionally we'd get to the ballpark early and we'd hear the ball bouncing in the field house, so we'd go in there, and one day they needed somebody to take the ball out for Jack and Doug. I got to touch it a couple times.
Give it right back, young man. Jack Sikma. That's when the Sonics were the team. They had those cool uniforms. Dennis Johnson, Fred Downtown Brown. Remember, Lonnie Shelton was on that team. Big power forward. Emmanuel Rivera's Diamondbacks debut has looked very good defensively. 0 for 3 at the plate up there.
Yeah, he's made some nice plays down there at the hot corner, mostly coming in, little choppers that he has to come in and pick on the short hop and throw all in one motion. He's been up to the task for everything today.
See that wind, those flags out there in right center still blowing out. It's been that way most of the afternoon. Of course, Rivera, having played in Kansas City, familiar with this ballpark, and the Guardians with him, they have straw shaded well over toward right center field. Slider caught the edge, and it's 2-2.
Had a little frustration there from Rivera, but that's not a pitch you're going to be able to do much with anyway. Maybe hit into a double play. Slider working down and away. Better off taking that one and hoping for a mistake on the next one.
Just able to get a piece of that changeup to stay alive. Emmanuel Rivera just turned 26 years old at the end of June. Acquired in the trade that sent Luke Weaver to the Royals. Oh, he just dropped it right in there. Loaded the changeup and buckled Rivera for the first out.
chance for Jake McCarthy. Jake signaled in the 5th. 1 for 3. He's got 7 hits on this road trip. He's also walked 3 times. Varsho takes off for second unopposed.
I like to call those a Canseco. Defensive indifference.
He just didn't use his head enough. That was actually in Cleveland, come to think of it. The famous ball that went off the head of Jose Canseco, and he was playing for the Texas Rangers. The old Municipal Stadium.
Morgan's got a good changeup. A lot of movement, a lot of arm action on that pitch.
Throws a lot. Jake punches it out to left field. Kwan is under it. There are 2 outs in the 9th. Geraldo Perdomo 0 for 3. He's punched out twice. Perdomo can reach. Seth Beer is in the on-deck circle. He would bat for Herrera.
This might be a good matchup for Seth Beer if he does get a chance. A guy that throws a lot of changeups. Seth's been a little long with his swing since coming back to the major leagues. Having trouble catching up to good fastballs, but he should be right on that changeup.
Morgan likes to float his up in the zone. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but here's another one. Change up way upstairs. Varsho at second with 2 outs. There's 3-0 on Perdomo. I'd love to see Seth get up there with a couple of ducks on the pond. Make this a ball game again with 1 swing. Beer would hit for Herrera. Here's your get me over 3-0 fastball. Yeah.
The changeup almost looks like a curveball sometimes.
Really
it has so much downward movement.
They're on their feet here at Progressive Field. The 3-2 to Perdomo. Bee Gees.
Staying alive. Staying alive. I like it. Lost me there for a moment.
Well, I know how you love your 70s disco music. Constantly listening to all the KC and the Sunshine Band records.
Get down tonight.
We'll do it again on 3-2. Perdomo lifts it in the air, right field. Go. Benson at the wall, and it's gone. Geraldo Perdomo. And the Diamondbacks aren't dead yet. The 4th of the year for Perdomo. And hold the phone at 7-4.
Into that changeup one time too many. Left that one right in the middle of the plate, down around the knees, and Perdomo hits it high in the air to right field, where the ball's been getting a little assistance from the wind today. Nice.
Still blowing out. And now Beer will hit for Jose Herrera as Carl Willis makes his way out to the mound. The Indians, there's the first one right at the end too. The Guardians pitching coach out to talk to Morgan.
Before we leave Cleveland, I got to relay one more story about Municipal Stadium and my childhood watching the then Indians over at Municipal Stadium. My father, my mother, my sister, and myself came to a game, a Friday night game against the White Sox back in 1964. We were sitting way down the right field line, but we were very close to one of the tunnels that comes up from the concourse level, and we were watching batting practice, and all of a sudden these two very official looking men came up with Indians gear on, and they're looking around the stands, and all of a sudden they looked right at me.
That's never good.
No, I'm thinking, what'd I do? They came up the stairway and said, "Young man, how old are you?" I said, "I'm 10. So they kind of talked to each other a little bit again. They said, "Well, he's supposed to be 16. Yeah, but he's a big kid. Hey, how'd you like to be the ball boy down the right field line tonight?" Oh my God.
What does that entail?
Sitting down the right field line, picking up foul balls.
Wow. So you were a Golden Glover at 10 years old.
Well, there's more to the story. What had happened is one of the bat boys didn't show up or couldn't make it to the game, so they put the ball boy from right field in the dugout, and they needed somebody to fill in down the right field line. Went into the Indians clubhouse, had on a uniform that was way too big for me. I was wearing Fred Whitfield's cleats, and I was ready to go. I was ready to head out the tunnel, and I'll be darned if the kid didn't show up. The bat boy showed up. So they said, we really feel bad about this, but the kid showed up, so we're going to send him down there to work. Who's your favorite player? Well, at the time, Vic Davalillo was my favorite player. So they gave me a Vic Davalillo bat. They got Vic to sign a baseball, and oh man! And that entire game, when I went back to my seat, I didn't even watch the field. I watched the guy sitting down the right field line. That could have been me.
What a story!
People say, when did you know you wanted to be a big league ball player? I think that was probably my moment. Walking into a big league clubhouse, there's 4 or 5 gloves laying in every locker, brand new uniforms.
Oh, well, if that didn't do it, nothing will. 2-2 on Seth Beer, batting for Herrera. Each team now with 9 hits. Each team has homered twice. He ties up Seth Beer. And Morgan shuts the door. The Perdomo home run made it closer, but it's a 7-4 final as Cleveland takes 2 of 3 in the series. And the Diamondbacks will head back home from a 1-5 road trip. We'll take a quick break, back with much more from Progressive Field. 7-4 your final, back in just a moment.